All right. Hello, everybody. I just want to go over the first part of class again today in a condensed manner because it was such a fiasco, right? And I want to make sure that you have the information, or at least you don't have any excuse not to have the information. So let's go over that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and share that income statement that we had originally. Now, remember, for in preparation for today's class, all I really provided for you was this information, asking you to do a vertical analysis. So step one, take a look at your current income statement and then do a vertical analysis. We know that a couple of things, that formula's right here, right? We start there. Remember our dollar sign, and we do a drag down. That gives us the vertical analysis. Step one, easy. You've done it a million times. Step two, assign each cost line, just the cost lines, a categorization of variable or fixed. Like I said today in class, some items are always fixed. Some items are always variable. Cost of goods, always variable. Labor, hourly labor, always variable. But other things we play with a little bit, and because it's managerial accounting, your particular company might be able to change something for fixed or variable. So that aspect will be about you as an owner or manager with your company based on the information you know. I'm going to go ahead and do this this part of it, meaning assigning each thing a fixed or variable, and I'll be right back after I do that. I'm just going to pause our recording while I do it. All right, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I did in that area. Again, you might make different decisions for your property, but like I said, typically some things like total cost of sales is always going to be variable. Management salary is always going to be fixed. Staff payroll and associated benefits are always going to be variable. Something like rent, also known as occupancy costs, or equipment leases are also fixed, right? So we have those things that make sense. Other things you might say, well, wait a minute, I had plowing service as variable, you had it as fixed, et cetera, et cetera. Just know that different properties are going to make different decisions in these areas based on their needs. Most things can always be considered fixed or variable, regardless of the type of property. Some properties might make small decisions and change. All right, I'm going to go away, get to the next step. All right, so we're back again, and all I've done is filled out this table, right? I know that my fixed costs are always measured in dollar amount, and my variable costs are always measured in percentage. Because fixed cost, I can predict right down to the dollar. That's not going to change. Variable changes in a dollar manner because, say that in this case, my total cost of sales was 32%. It's 32% of whatever revenue I happen to make. So some years when I make very little revenue, 32% of that revenue goes to pay for a cost of sale. So in dollar amount, it might be lower some years, might be bigger some years, but it's never more than 32% of total revenue is used. That money used towards purchasing the raw product that I turn into something. So all I do at this point is I'm bringing my fixed cost over in dollar amount, and I'm bringing my variable costs over in percentage. Notice that some things are very small, like 0.4%. If I'm bringing that over from my income statement, just to remember, put in 0.4, and then it will come in as 0.4%. If you just put in 0.4, it might come in as 40%. You don't want that. Put it in exactly as it looks in the vertical analysis. So I've added these up and I've added these up. And this is based on my decision to treat some things variable, some things fixed. There are a few, right, that it can go either way depending on the company. So I would never take off for you to make that decision unless it was a glaring problem. Like you said, cost of goods sold was a fixed cost. It's never going to be. That's always going to be a variable cost. Some things are always variable. Some things are always fixed. Some things you tweak based on the kind of company that you have. So that's all I've done here, right? And then I total it. So my total fixed costs are in dollar amount. My total variable costs are in a percentage. And I can just plug those right in here. 578. 864. Boom, dollar amount. Variable cost, 62. Now remember, ahead of time, I have prepped my cells to hold the kind of information that I want them to, in fact, hold. All right. Great. I'll do the next part, and I'll come right back. All right, so I want to show you, well, I want you to take a look at what I've done here. Look down here. So fixed cost, we know. Total fixed cost, we have it there in dollar amount, easy enough. Total variable cost, we have that in percentage, and all we did was add up each of our individual variable cost percentages. We got that from the vertical analysis column, yeah? And then our contribution margin percentage. That is simply, and take a look up here in the formula line. You can see what the formula is. It's 100%, meaning, you know, my total sales minus my variable cost percentage. But to put it in here, notice how I put it in 100% minus 62%. I actually included the percent signs, right? And that gave me, in this case, I did it, equals 100% minus 62%. And I did that in a very specific manner with those percentages included. So it would come to, in this case, 38%, right? But if I'm going to expect a percent answer and I'm working with percentages, I have to put the percent sign in. Easiest way to do it instead of moving the decimal point. Cool. Just include the percentages there, another trick. And then that gave me a break-even point of a little over $1.5 million. Remember, break-even point is my fixed cost dollar amount divided by my variable, my contribution margin percentage. Again, look up here at the formula, right? It is, in fact, H20. And if you do the old strategy game, my fixed cost in dollar amount divided by my contribution margin in percentage. And then that piece should bring me a little over $1.5 million. That's it. That's how I get to this part of it. Now, the second part, where we make decisions based on this, comes next. And I think we did a pretty good job of doing that aspect in class. But I felt I wanted to give you the opportunity to look at this again. How do I go from an income statement, add a vertical analysis, categorize my costs into fixed and variable, and then use the simple formulas, right? Fixed are always dollar, variable is always percentage. I need two new pieces of information: contribution margin percentage and break-even point. Once I have these pieces of information, I am able to answer questions like, how much revenue do I need to produce in order to add this new fixed cost or these new fixed costs? That's it. So I hope you watch this a couple of times until this part is just basically muscle memory. After that, you can answer all the other questions.